One day they existed. Then, they slowly faded into the dustbin of history. But some people still remember their songs. Today we are going to look at the 70s and 80s rock bands that I'm sure when you hear these bands you will say, "Oh yeah, there was that too." First on our list is Yesterday and Today. Y&T came out of California in the early 1970s, and when they burst onto the scene, many people believed they would be the next big thing. This band, which I've heard in the comments of my previous videos, had a style that alternated between hard rock and heavy metal. But why were they forgotten? The band's popularity declined with the changes in the music world, and the end of their major label deals forced them to retreat from the music scene. Second on our list is City Boy. People don't understand why this band is so underrated. City Boy formed in England in the late 1970s. They combined elements of both prog rock and popular rock and gained attention with hit songs like 5.70.5. They gained popularity in the early 80s, especially in the USA, but they couldn't adapt to the changes in the lineup and the obsolescence of their music style and disbanded in the mid-80s. Third on our list is Coney Hatch. Coney Hatch is a hard rock band formed in Canada in the early 1980s. The combination of solid AC/DC-like riffs, endlessly energetic vocals, and impressive on-stage performances quickly got the band noticed. They gained a fan base in Canada and Europe. With the rise of glam metal in the mid-1980s and the grunge wave that followed, the band was unable to stabilize. So, classic hard rock bands like Coney Hatch faded into the background. Fourth on our list is The Zebra. Zebra is an American hard rock band formed in New Orleans in the late 1970s. They attracted attention with their Led Zeppelin-influenced vocals, progressive structures, and melodic guitar solos. They debuted with their self-titled debut album in 1983 and attracted great attention with the song "Tell Me What You Want." Many people say that they grew up with Randy, and that they were underappreciated. With the change in music, not getting enough support, and limited album production led to their oblivion over time. By the way, don't forget to write your memories about these bands in the comments, and I will read them all. Fifth on our list is Shooting Star. Shooting Star is an American rock band formed in Kansas City in 1977. They combined hard rock with instruments like violin and keyboards to create a style. They caught people's attention with their first album released in 1980, and songs like "Last Chance" were played frequently on rock radio. Many people in Kansas City saw them live. When the album-oriented rock genre was popular, big names like Journey, Foreigner, Styx were at the top. That's why they had a hard time standing out and slowly lost their popularity. But have you heard of this band before? Sixth on our list is Red Rider. Red Rider was formed in 1975 in Canada. The band's best-known song was 1981's "Lunatic Fringe." The song is considered one of the best songs of the 80s. With its lyrics and style, it became one of the radio hits of the era, and eventually became a classic. Listening to classic rock radio in Canada, you can't help but hear Cochrane Red Rider several times a day. In the US, Tom Cochrane and Limahl were the rare ones who could write two hit songs at the same time, and the band was mostly confined to Canada. Tom Cochrane's solo single, "Life is a Highway," gained popularity in the early 90s, but unfortunately, new songs overshadowed the band's previous work. Trapeze is seventh on our list. Trapeze is a rock band formed in England in 1969. They became one of the most notable bands of the period, with their style blending elements of funk, soul, and hard rock. Their album, Medusa, reached cult status, especially with Hughes's vocals and bass performance. Perhaps the biggest reason why Trapeze was forgotten by a wider audience was that key members joined much bigger bands. Most notably, Glenn Hughes joining Deep Purple, and then drummer Dave Holland moving on to Judas Priest had a bad impact on Trapeze. Eighth on our list is Streetheart. Streetheart was formed in Canada in 1977. They had strong vocals and were known for their keyboard-based music and energy. Their best-known song is their cover of the Rolling Stones' Under My Thumb. This cover was a huge success in Canada and became the band's signature song. It was featured on Canadian charts and radio. The band won Juno Awards and Platinum Records. Although Streetheart was very popular in Canada, it failed to catch on internationally. Changing music trends and the band's breakup in the mid-1980s were the main reasons for their gradual fade into oblivion. Ninth on our list is Hanoi Rocks. Hanoi Rocks was formed in Finland in 1979. The band combined glam punk with hard rock. They are considered one of the first European bands to inspire the glam metal scene in America. They attracted attention especially with songs like Tragedy and Up Around the Bend. Unfortunately, the death of their drummer Razzle Dingley in 1984, in an accident involving a car driven by Vince Neil of Mötley Crüe, was devastating for the band. Shortly after this incident, the band disbanded. Some people say that the rock band Hanoi Rocks and Yesterday and Today should be on the same level as Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Whitesnake, etc. What do you think? 10th on our list is Tygers of Pan Tang. Tygers of Pan Tang formed in England in 1978. Along with the new wave of British heavy metal, Tygers of Pan Tang was on the rise. The band proved themselves with albums such as Wildcat and Spellbound. But with bands such as Iron Maiden and Def Leppard, the current was too crowded. In the mid-1980s, with the uncertainty and lineup changes within the band could not increase its popularity and declined. 11th on our list is New England. New England is an American melodic rock and album-oriented rock band formed in Boston in 1978. They debuted with their self-titled debut album in 1979. Their hit song, Don't Ever Wanna Lose Ya, attracted attention and found a place in the Billboard charts. Unfortunately, they were left behind due to intense competition, producer changes, and lack of adequate promotion. To many rock fans, they were considered outdated as punk rock and new wave started to become popular. If they had been a little more patient, their style would have become more popular in the mid-80s. Maybe they didn't have time to do this because they were ahead of their time. 12th on our list is Legs Diamond. Legs Diamond was a really talented band that came out of the Los Angeles rock scene in the mid-70s. When their self-titled 1977 debut album came out, people loved it, and it was followed by A Diamond is a Hard Rock, also in 1977. Some even called them America's Led Zeppelin until the release of Firepower in 1978, which was less popular than the others. Although they gained an audience, especially with songs like Stage Fright and Rat Race, they failed to attract the attention of major record labels. They remained a respected cult band known mostly to hardcore rock fans. 13th on our list is Starz. Starz was a band that combined Kiss and Aerosmith-style glam rock with melodic hard rock. After their self-titled debut album in 1976, they released Violation in 1977. Songs like Cherry Baby and Hold On to the Night were liked by people. However, there were big giants in the music market at the time, and it was very difficult to compete with them. They didn't get enough radio support, and record label support dwindled over time. And then Starz, despite its potential, faded into oblivion. 14th on our list is Balance. Sound familiar to those who listened to rock radio in the early 80s? Formed in 1981, Balance released impressive songs in album-oriented rock and melodic rock styles. Tracks like Breaking Away and Falling in Love had a short-lived success in the radio charts of the time. But the rise of MTV increased the competition based on visuals, and bands like Balance, who stood out with their music, were left behind due to record label problems, etc. By the end of the 80s, the band completely disbanded and their name was slowly forgotten. Last on our list is Ambrosia. Ambrosia is an American rock band that burst onto the scene in the mid-70s. Initially, they started out with progressive rock, but their biggest success came in the late 70s and early 80s. They hit the Billboard charts especially with songs like How Much I Feel, Biggest Part of Me, and You're the Only Woman. But they moved away from progressive rock by making soft, emotional songs. Although all these bands did not mysteriously disappear, they were actually ignored by people as people's taste in music changed. People who preferred other bands had the feeling that these bands had mysteriously disappeared. So, what do you think about these bands? If you like rock videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video. I'm waiting for all your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to watch our other videos. Goodbye, Rock Again, family.